Hey guys, Arcade Adam, and welcome to my workshop. It's been a while. I haven't been in here or uploaded a video from here since maybe you've seen me in such films as how to shuck a hard drive, or building an Oddcon, or how to add Rumble to an AIM track, and I totally finished that project. You just missed it. Go check it out on my channel. I swear it's there. Anyway, today I got a new one for you. My buddy Eric at Silk Systems sent me a prototype, discrete packaging included, for the Steam Deck. I believe it's a 1 terabyte SSD, and I was going to see if we can just jam it in there. He was worried about fitment, packages front and side, NAND flash chips, if that's your thing. Anyway, we're going to open up the Steam Deck, see if we can fit a 1 terabyte drive in there, and hopefully it boots. So I've got my Jay's 2 Cents hoodie on. I've got my iFixit kit screwdrivers. I've got my LTTstore.com water bottle. I've got my Gamers Nexus soldering mat and my LTTstore.com screwdriver. So if I can't get it done with these tools, I think I should probably quit doing what I'm doing, right? Let's get to it. All right, guys, I'm trying something new. We're rolling on 3 cameras, trying to combine all these angles. And I apologize for the audio right off the bat. I got a 3D printer going nuts behind me. There's a furnace over there. It is what it is for where I'm at in my workshop. So let's start. I think we'll start with the unboxing. Sorry, I don't know where to put stuff, so don't block the camera. Let's get rid of the Steam Deck for a second. And let's tear into the Silk Systems prototype drive. Ooh, looks like Customs got in here for a second. Going from that, it's branded Silk Systems. I don't know where the Vanna White, so bear with me. YouTuber things. Ooh, feels like there might be a drive in there. Okay, so we've got that's nice. Nice little anti-static package. I think that's the extent of that box. And then we'll take the documentation and pluck it and file it, as usual. And then we've got the SSD itself. So like I said in the intro, Eric was wondering if this thing will fit in the Steam Deck, because there is some confusion and some debate in the community as to whether or not a single-sided SSD. Oh, sorry, Eric, I boogered up your sticker. So I'll show you what I mean by single-sided. So on an NVMe, a traditional NVMe, a 2280, which is, maybe you're familiar with that gum stick looking thing. It's like this long. That's a 2280, and this is a 2230 that refers to the length. So 30 millimeters rather than 80, I believe, is how that works. Anyways, you can have NAND flash memory chips on both sides of these things for higher capacities. And I think he said he sent me a 1 terabyte. The chip does not give up the goods. Let me check my documentation. Yes, 1 terabyte and 2230, like I said. Cool. I should just read this. So enclosed is a 1 terabyte 2230 M2 NVMe SSD from Silk Systems. Might have to work on. Anyway, this will go into a Steam Deck. Oh, and they're also developing this for the upcoming ASUS ROG Ally. I believe I'm pronouncing that right, which is a Steam Deck-like device with just way more horsepower. So hopefully I'm not spilling the soup on that one, but that's what the goal is here, to see if we can fit this in here. And the fact that it's a single-sided, that means this is guaranteed to work based on what I've seen. So let's bring the Steam Deck back in here and get it going. So I purchased 2 of these, actually. I got in early on the pre-orders, and I was one of those jerks that got it early. And because it was going for triple the amount on eBay, I flipped it. And instead of the mid-tier one that I bought with the first round, I went ahead and used my proceeds from the first flip on eBay to turn around and buy the highest capacity model with the anti-glare screen. So that's what this is. So this is a 512 anti-glare. So what you wanna do if you're doing this at home is let me find a microfiber. I don't want to put the screen because this is a new mat, but if there's any sort of they've already got hard crusties on here, it'll scar up the screen. So let me find a microfiber real quick. Wouldn't have to go far here in the workshop. There we go. Put that down for the screen. So what you're going to do is there are 8 screws back here, and I wanted to use the LTT screwdriver, so I'm going to see if there's a smaller Phillips. We'll see if we can get this done with one tool and not have to open the iFixit. But I think at a minimum you need the plastic spudger to open this up after that. So we'll do our 8 screws. And I heard some of them are short and some of them are long, so you got to keep track of what that is. So that's definitely a long one. Hopefully you guys are seeing this okay. Trying to keep it in camera angle, view, This looks like another long one, so we'll put those 2 there, top and bottom. Maybe the middle ones are the shorties. Yep, that's a smaller one. So the middle screws are a little shorter. There we go. So yeah, loving this screwdriver from lttstore.com. Not sponsored. Linus, call me. I met you at I gotta look it up, but I'm pretty sure it was CES 2011. I think I shook your hand, and at the time you were still in that house with 4 of your buddies. I think you weren't the juggernaut you were then, and I think I told you to keep up the good work. So good job. Now, for those that are uninitiated, he's the #1 tech YouTuber on YouTube. He's got a company called Linus Media Group, and he's got to have north of 200 employees, it seems like. He's doing all right. I think my encouragement definitely helped. All right, so that's 8 screws, 4 long ones, 4 little ones. Let's jump into the iFixit kit and get a plastic spudger. You don't want to use metal on this thing because it'll probably mark it up something serious. So let's start at the bottom. Oh, also pro tip, I forgot I had an SD card in here. You want to take that out before you start, because if you leave that in there, you can break them. I've seen people post on social media of SD cards that are like snapped off the top. But yeah, I guess let's just go for it down here. Oh, that was easier than I thought. Wow, I just popped that in there. Hopefully you guys saw that with the camera angle, so we'll try to show this over here again. Got my hands in the way. But if you just jam that down and lift up, you're good to go. And it's just the hand hold sides. Yeah, see, in the twist method. So once you get it in there, you got both sides in there. If you just kind of twist, you're good to go. So let me see if I can... Oh, wow. That was easy. So there's the back of your Steam Deck. Set that aside. Let me check my camera angle so you guys can see this. Yep. Okay. Check my other angle. Yeah, everybody can see everything. Cool. I'll just slide this over just a little bit for that camera. So now once you're in here, you've got this metal shield. And I want to say there are, I think somebody said there were 4 more screws. One of them is under this metal tape. And it looks like you got one down here, one in the corner, one on top, maybe. Let's just deal with what we know. Let's go after this guy. Might need a smaller Phillips. Nope, we're good. We got it. As soon as I got this screwdriver, again, not sponsored, Linus called me. I liked it so much, I went ahead and I bought the entire bit set because it's that awesome. Oh, I need to work on my bits mounting pressure though. There's two of them floating around in there. But anyway, yeah, if you can't figure it out with this, you're doing it wrong. There should be a smaller Phillips in there, but I think we could be able to get it done with the one we got. The bits that it comes with is very well appointed, and that's the same size screw, so it's going in the same spot. So I know there's one under here. I think there's going to be one more at the bottom, but I can't see it. Oh, did I rip the tape? Oh no. Ripped the tape. Voided my warranty. But yeah, be careful with this metal tape. Thought that was going to be a little bit more robust. There we go. Ooh, that's a big screw under there. Different screw, different hole. All right, what do we got? Is this coming up or not? One more? Oh, that's it. Okay, so Eric, there is a sizable thermal pad right there that goes right on top of that. So the SSD is wrapped in a thermal tape, and then there's a honking thermal pad. Trying to play Vanna White to 3 angles. So there's that. And then we're gonna before we do that, the tutorial I read said go ahead and unplug the power. So we're gonna do that. That's this guy right here. Oh, and that tab's not gonna help you. So you gotta wiggle this out very carefully. It's one of those it's not ZIF so much as it's just like a slot connector. So if you're used to taking apart laptops, that's what that is. And she wants to go back in there too, so we got to be careful. There we go. We got her out. So we're all the way out. I'll give the power button a couple clicks because you don't want to yank that with juice going to it. That's going to cause badness. Same goes for computers, laptops, whatever you're working on. Okay, so SSD screw. Let's yet another thing here. So this is the original 512. And Eric, it is single-sided. I'm going to take off this jacket and compare it to your SSD in a second. But there are no chips on the back for sure. So that's the original. And that's the Silk Systems in terms of size. I'm trying to line them up. They are pretty much identical. They feel about the same height. But physical dimensions, well, it's two-dimensional dimensions, I should say. Yeah, here, let me try to hold this together so you guys can see this. If anything, Silk Systems drive might be like 0.1 millimeter taller, you tell me. Hopefully that's focusing. Try to use the better camera here. But they're identical otherwise. But I doubt that height difference is going to matter. We're going to put the thermal tape life jacket back on. And it'll slot right on top of the Silk Systems drive because it's the same size. If I can clear that memory. Yeah, so maybe that memory, that first NAND package might be a tiny bit taller. Let's try to go this way. Don't make me take this apart. I want to just slide it back on. Yep. Oh yeah, no problem. Like I said, if the tape fits, it sits. We're good. So I'm just going to jam that back in there. Make sure it clicks. Grab our original SSD screw. Carefully put that back in there. You definitely don't need to wrench on that. You just want to give the SSD a wiggle and make sure you're good. So at this point, you know, without buttoning things up, you're done. You have installed the SSD. That's it. That's the entire upgrade procedure. So from here, you don't forget to plug your Steam Deck back in, because the next step, you're going to put that metal cover back in, and then you'll definitely forget to plug it in. So again, just kind of be careful. Support the connector on the board. You never want to put too much pressure on these socket connectors, because the only thing holding them in are these solder joints in the back. So if you put too much lateral pressure on them, sometimes they fly right off. So be careful, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That looks good. And then just make sure there's no debris in your thermal pads. Put that right back on. Where it was before. Mind this fan connector. There's a cutout for it right there. Make sure that wire doesn't get stuck underneath this metal part. And then keep that metal sticker back, and then line up the screw hole up here. There's something is fighting me in this top corner. I can feel it. Oh, there's a tiny little, here, let's see if I can show you on camera. Again, with a good one. See, there's like a leg there. That leg has a hole, and you've got to slot it right in there, and that'll bring your top corner right down to where it feels nice. And then, like I said, guys, I do IT stuff. I think I've mentioned this on my channel before, for a living. So I've taken apart countless computers. So I've just got a feel for stuff like this. But you just, if you use your powers of observation as you're pushing this down and you're fighting something, don't force it. There's usually a reason, and just go find out what that reason is. And okay, try to remember the order of our screws. This bigger one was underneath the tape. And we're just repeating the process in reverse to get this thing back together. Like this right here, the screws fight me, so let's just figure out why. There we go, had a bad angle. And again, don't over tighten. We had 3 little guy screws. I only see 2. Where did I put the other one? Did I lose a screw? There we go. Where did I put all those screws? This is for the case. Huh. I'll have to review the footage and see what I did with it, but there should be... I got places for 3 more screws, and I only have 1. Well, we'll do... if you've only got 2 screws and 4 corners, you do opposite corners. And I'll see if I can find those other screws. If not, I have a bunch of them in a bucket behind me. And I should go back and check. Maybe those weren't populated, but I would think they would be. Yeah. 2 outside, 2 inside. Nothing under the SD card. Weird. I think I remember only taking 3 of them off too, though. Oh well. It's just a heat shield. It's not going anywhere. Power's in. That screws in. That screws in. That screws in. We're good to go. This doesn't have any nubs on it to where they would go in screw holes. Nope. Oh. Aha. Okay, guys. So this is where I screwed up. I literally put the 2 screws back in the wrong spot. So this is good point to make. So the reason there's only 2 screws in here, like I said, opposite corners, is the case screws go all the way through to those locations. And I put them in the 2 wrong spots. So I put it down here and up here. And if you line up the case, there's a screw hole there and a screw hole up here. So, oh, sorry, a screw hole here and here. So I got 1 in the right spot. I need to transfer this screw from here to there, because the case screw will go into that hole. That makes more sense. I was going to say, I didn't think I was missing any screws or dropped any. We're all learning together. Happy little screws. I mean, look how tiny these things are. Don't sneeze. There we go. So now I have open screw hole here, open screw hole there, and the case will take care of that for me. So we're going to pop this back on. And this should just be a squeeze until you hear a click situation. All the way around a couple times. So now you're basically good. If you wanted to test it right now, you could. Actually, no, because we got to go into the BIOS. I may choose to film that or not, but the final step with this is that SD cards, or the SSD is blank, so it doesn't have the Steam operating system on it anymore. None of your games, none of your saves, but that's the beauty of Steam. All your save games are in the cloud, so it doesn't matter. Didn't need to back this up, but it's there if you need it. So the final step, as I was saying, is to grab a USB-C flash drive, go to or Google the Steam OS, download the Steam OS image, and use an app called Rufus to burn the OS onto the USB stick as an image, and then put that in the Steam Deck. And I think when you power it on, you hold volume down, so minus plus power gets into the BIOS, and then basically you just boot your USB drive, and it starts to reload the operating system. Kind of the same thing as installing Windows on a computer. This essentially, this is a computer with hand grips on it, so same difference. Get into the BIOS, select your boot device, and instead of installing Windows, you're installing SteamOS. And if you didn't notice, I'm doing the outside larger screws first, longer ones in a cross pattern, just to make sure we're lined up. Just good practice with plastic cases. Sometimes they can move around. And the next one I'm going to do is this bottom one on the inside, because this is where that metal sheet was, and it's shifted to the right just a tiny bit, but should be enough for the screw to still go in and find its home. And it did. So we're all set there. All right, guys, last screw. So you'll either leave, I'll leave you guys here, and I'll link you to someone else's video about doing the flashing process. But if something happens to me that's interesting that I don't expect, I'll film it and I'll tell you guys about it. But like I said, here, let's turn her back on, and it'll probably just boot up and say something like disk not found. I did charge it right before I did this, so it should have some charge. Let's see if I can get the boot procedure. There we go. I got a light anyway. I didn't commit the instructions to memory, but you're supposed to hold like power and minus, and then when you see the screen, I think you're supposed to let go power. So we'll try that again. I only got the light to flash. See if I can do this on camera. I'm holding both down. I'm going to let go of power. Still holding minus, but it's not booting. I'm supposed to continuously hold power. Let's try that. And it might not be turning on because I don't have a USB stick in here. Oh, got a light now. Nope. I'll have to read up on that. Like I said, I'll report back. I got to follow the guide myself. So anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. If don't come back with another part of this video, like, subscribe, hit up Silk Systems Gaming. I'll put the link in the description. Eric's a great guy. He's a big fan of the community, both in arcade. Oh, here we go. It just needed to give it a second. There you go. Default boot device or boot failed. So it's looking for the operating system, but doesn't have one. Interrupted my outro, but that's the point. That was what I was trying to make, is like, it's a computer. It's going to look for its boot device. You're just good to go. Give it a SSD. It's time for a LTT store water break anyway. So as I was saying, I'm going to do this off camera. If something interesting happens, I'll film it and I'll let you guys know. I'm going to test this for performance and make sure everything's good, do the heat loads and run some games, run some benchmarks. I thought I saw somebody said you could actually get Cyberpunk playable on this thing, which would be fun to attempt. Maybe I'll do that. But anyways, like I said, Silk Systems Gaming, check it out, guys. Link in the description. He's going to have a bunch of SSDs for this thing, other handhelds, anything that takes a 2230 SSD. And Eric, if you're watching, single-sided seems to be the way to go because it was tight on the back. It kind of clicked. So there's you go. I think that's the correct way to do it. So anyway, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.